just give up. Seriously, why even try? I mean, look at this. Anthropic CEO says AI could replace software engineers in 6 to 12 months. Jensen Huang says kids shouldn't learn how to code, they should leave it up to AI. Tons of CEOs and people around the industry proclaiming that software engineering is going to be dead. But is it? This quote represents what many of us are feeling right now due to that. Software engineering has been within 6 months of being dead continually since early 2023. I mean, people and companies have always been trying to erase software engineers by introducing things that allow non-technical people the ability to create things by themselves. So given the coming of AI, is it time to just give up and abandon this career? I mean, if you look back in history, you will see tools such as, in the 1960s, the creation of COBOL, the Common Business-Oriented Language, a compiled language designed for business use, as a way to let business people who were non-technical to be able to produce applications and systems. But this fails because they still needed high specialized workers. Then we go Visual Basic, a way to let office workers be able to build apps by just dragging things around. But once these systems got more complex and needed more options, they still needed developers to fix the issues and understand more complex work. Then we started getting things such as WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, Shopify. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are amazing tools that has helped millions of people be able to create solutions to their problems very quickly and effectively. These platforms have lowered the need for low-end web developer work. They have shifted the demands of web development work into other areas that are more needed. But once your business grows, once you outgrow the platform, or when policies changes that start affecting your business, then you're now out of luck and we need to rely on these platforms continually providing solutions to your need. This makes software engineer still needed for those tasks that these type of tools cannot solve. But that doesn't answer the question of why learn how to code, doesn't it? In prior decades, the use of these low coding tools have been limited, but now we have AI that is capable of spinning a whole website with very little problems and no technical background needed. So what's the point then? Well, the point is that you're looking at it wrong. AI is not going to replace software engineers. Instead, it's going to change how the landscape works. Let's look at a prior example in history. This picture, for example, of what was at the time referred to as computers, mostly women who were performing necessary calculations by hand or by using robust machines. This was a role that was entirely absorbed by actual digital computers later on, and it's currently obsolete. So these new machines didn't replace the people, it just moved up the task up a level. The engineers, the people deciding what to calculate and to interpret the result, move their focus to a higher level. And we're seeing companies scaling back on their decisions. Meta, for example, just this month plans to scale down the AI usage by imposing limits on employees' token usage, literally weeks after they started pushing adoption of AI tools heavily. And why is that? I mean, well, a fun example of why is this is, so Claude just deleted my entire project. Very interesting, right? And this is not a single case. There's more. Claude Code delete my entire 200 GB archive that I say please do not remove. I'm showing this to make clear that AI is not a tool you should trust blindly, as lots of people in companies are realizing that the marketing of AI will replace software engineers soon is completely bullshit and hides the actual dangers of using artificial intelligence. AI, as we commonly know it, it's a non-deterministic tool, meaning that given the same input, it will return different output. This can be due to additional context, instructions, and a lot of other things. But you can see my point here. It won't really always give you the same thing that you asked for. Yes, you can argue that this can be solved through prompt engineering, but there's clearly a limit into how much prompt engineering can you do until it starts backfiring and AI starts forgetting earlier instructions. Can you really trust blindly a tool that doesn't always work the same way? The answer is no. So what can you do? Well, there's this thing called computational thinking, that it's basically a term referring to breaking down complex problems into smaller, much better manageable parts, as well as creating step-by-step solutions that are then implemented with code and algorithms. Even though low-level coding is becoming automated by AI and lots of people in their software engineers jobs currently are not even writing lines of code. Instead, they're letting the AI code for them while they just mainly review it. I mean, there's something that you're missing if you just hear this fact face value. To be able to be a good software engineer, you need to understand the code. You need to understand the algorithmic process behind the system. You need to understand how the data is flowing and how the components are working together. That's why you still need to learn how to code manually, because by doing so, you start building the critical thinking skills associated with being a software engineer. Because at the end of the day, everything a software engineer does is resolved around code and programs. If you don't understand how the system is supposed to work, how are you gonna be able to judge AI's output and be able to review it? How else are you going to guide the AI into an actual solution to your problem and make sure that it's understanding your idea correctly instead of just implementing its own thing? The fact of the matter is that it's hard to learn more technical skills if you don't already have the foundation of coding. And not only that, even if you have the foundation of coding, but instead offload your thinking to AI, this can happen. In an article published by Anthropic, they found that AI assistants can lead to a decrease in the mastery of a skill compared to people who just code by hand. A 17% difference in their scoring. This goes to show that if you decide to act stupid and not do your due diligence of reasoning through your decisions and trying to analyze and put your critical thinking skills in practice, it will lead you to becoming a less proficient software engineer and therefore less productive, even with the assistance of AI. To be fair, Anthropic later on in the same article clarifies that it's about how you use AI that's actually the problem, not the fact that you're using it, but it still demonstrates to you that relying on AI to do everything for you is going to decline your productivity and actual work output. It's going to do the exact opposite of what effect you're looking for by using everything for AI. So yes, learn to code manually, understand how programming works and the fundamentals of it. Using AI is good and should be encouraged. It's a future and it's not going to disappear one day, but it will instead change how the job is and the responsibilities of it. Even with this, AI is just another tool, and if you don't develop the high-level skills to be able to use it, you won't be able to get ahead of the competition. So instead, take your time and learn and use AI to boost your productivity. So no, don't give up, at least just yet. Ciao.